Hello and welcome to Transfermarkt TV. I'm Ben Littlemore, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Transfermarkt's area manager in Belgium, Bart Tamsyn. And today he joins us because we're talking about young centre-back Luka Vuskovic, who is set to join Tottenham next summer for a fee of 11 million euros. He's a Hajduk split player still at the moment in Croatia, but he's on loan at Belgian side Westerlo this season. Don't forget, if you haven't already, if you're a new viewer, subscribe below. Okay, so Bart, would you mind starting by telling us, he's 17 years of age, Luka Vuskovic. I was reading, I think he's already made 45 first-team appearances in his career, which is pretty crazy at 17. He's also scored 10 goals, which is absolutely insane for a centre-back. To be, a lot of midfielders would be happy with that record. Just how good, you followed his career very closely so far, just how good do you think Luka Vuskovic can be?
Well, I saw him the first time at the age of 15. He played then, like you said, for Hajduk Split. He played in the youth league. I saw him against sides from Azerbaijan, Kabbalah. At that point, he was 15 years old, playing in a team surrounded with 18, 19 years old. As you know, at that age, the gap between 15 and 19 is rather huge. But you saw immediately he was really at ease in that team. He was playing a central defender, of course, in a 4-line. And you saw his other central defender was 19 years old, but Luka was in control. He was the boss of the defense. The other defender was just, I get the ball and I give it to Luka, and Luka has got to do his thing with it. So, and that went on. In January of 2023, he was still 15 years old. Ivan Leko was coach at that time at Hajduk Split. He immediately gave him his debut in a friendly game because he couldn't play competitive games before he was 16. He then went 16 in February, and just 2 days behind that day, he made his debut for Hajduk Split, straight in the lineup, 16 years old and 2 days. And there it started. I think Tottenham just couldn't get him to England before the age of 18, but they already signed him in September 2023 with the eye of bringing him to Tottenham in July 2025. So also, if you look, normally there are offensive players who can get their debut at such a young age. So giving it immediately at the age of 16, immediately in the starting lineup, I think that already says a lot what kind of talent they expect him to be. I also believe it was the biggest sale ever for Hajduk Split at the fee of 11 million euros. So I think you can expect a lot of him.
It's very interesting because, like you say, sort of centre-back is normally a position that's sort of synonymous with leadership and older heads. So to be doing what he's done at that age is so impressive. For our listeners and particularly Tottenham fans, who'll be very excited about him coming over to the Premier League. What kind of centre-back is he? Is he a ball-playing centre-half? Does he like to travel with the ball? Is he solid at the back? What are his strengths, and what kind of player is Vuskovic?
Well, at first, he feels very comfortable in the way he's playing. Westerlo started the season with a 4-man defense, where he was one of the two centrals. Now the last 3-4 games, he switched to a 5 or 3-man defense, like what you would like to see. And he's really the center of those three. So basically, next to him, there's a guy of 24 years old, where they played 4 million euros at Galatasaray for. But he's the leader of the defense, only at the age of 17, and he's really comfortable in it. You see it, you don't expect a big mouth from him. Expect already giving leaderships at that young age. He's a guy that when he sees an opportunity in front of him, that there is space, that he goes for it. And for instance, a few games back, he gave the assist. And it was just because he got the ball, central defense, he saw the gap before him, he went into it, and then just give it to the striker who scored. Straightforward. He's also the guy who can give the long ball to place it behind the defense. And like you said, he already scored a lot. We are 10 games far in Belgium. He already scored 4 goals, 3 headers, all from set pieces. So I think he will be there also really a strength. Given the fact that he's just 17 years old, and his body still needs to transform more. He's already, I think, he's 1 meter 92, so the height is already okay. But you see, the chest and the shoulders, of course, need to evolve more, and so he will only get better in that perspective.
My next question, Bart, was going to be, what centre back does he remind you of? Maybe a more well-known one, but just from what your description there, when you talk about him driving forward with the ball and getting an assist, I think you're going to be reminding a lot of Tottenham fans of a player who's already in their back line at the moment, in Mickey van der Ven, who we've seen do that twice in the Premier League this season, drive with the ball forward and assist a goal. And when you were talking about his ability from corners, 4 goals in 10 games is crazy. That reminds me a little bit of Gabriel at Arsenal in terms of that threat. But is there another player that, particularly to you, maybe like an older player or someone that he reminds you of in his style of play?
Well, yeah. If you would look at Tottenham and the Belgium link, I would say, for instance, Toby Alderweireld. Was also a guy, most of the time the right side of the defense, could also play in a 3-man defense, always looking forward. I think Toby Alderweireld is really known about the crosses that he could deliver to the attackers and to the wingers. Also very good with the head, very at ease at the back, controlling, leadership. I think giving the Tottenham and Belgium aspect together, that could be a good example.
Right, I think Tottenham fans would like another Toby Alderweireld in their back line.
Exactly.
He's got a current market value of €8 million. As we mentioned, Tottenham have paid €11 million to bring him in next summer. Do you think Tottenham have got themselves a good deal there? Do you see that market value just going up and up?
Yeah. I really believe in him. Like I said, I already saw him at the age of 15 and immediately know, okay, this is going to be a big prospect for the future. I think he's even got capabilities to play in a team like Real Madrid. So I really believe that they got, of course, he still got to evolve at this moment. And what really is now, he's got to do is got to pick up those details that will give his team and his play even better. When I'm talking about details, I think about decisions-making details. When do I step in? When do I keep my line? When do I play out? When do I do the long ball? It doesn't get the experience that you really need to play in a top team. It's really good, like you said, it's already over 15 games at the senior level. So he already got some experience, but he will gain more. And of course, his body's got to evolve more, like I already said. So he certainly in the Premier League against attackers, he's got to learn better how to use his body into a one-to-one duel. Because now we rather see that he rather takes a little distance to his man and try to anticipate some bit more. So being straight into duel, that is really something he's got to learn more. But that's something that will come when his body evolves, when he's got more experience. And then I think he will go for the top. That Tottenham is prepared to pay a record transfer fee at Hajduk Split for a player just 16 years old. I think that already says enough what kind of talent they expect him to be.
Okay, and my final question is sort of going to be related to something you touched on there. But in terms of, we're going to see, he's going to have another season under his belt in Belgium this season, obviously. But when he goes to Spurs ahead of the next term, do you see him sort of going straight into the first team setup? It's obviously going to be hard to get in ahead of Van der Ven and Romero, who are probably one of the stronger points of the Spurs team at the moment. But do you see him going straight in as like direct backup to them alongside Radu Dragusin? Do you see him maybe going on loan somewhere else in the Premier League or somewhere else in maybe the top 5 leagues? Do you think he's ready for that step up next season?
Well, that's going to be really the big question. The thing is that he's now playing, let's say, in the top 10 European league. That is doing the different sides as a 4-man defense, 5-man defense. It's really good for his that he evolves in that. But for already he will then be 18 years old to already be ready for defense in the Premier League. I don't know. Maybe it's better indeed to go like his brother to a team in Germany that plays there in at least a sub-top to get there still a little bit more experience. I think a big example is for instance, Arne Engels, who went to Augsburg and now is at Celtic, also top transfer there immediately in the setup. So that step to Germany to play in a little bit lower team, but having the chance to evolve, having the chance to play, and then making the step.
Okay, so Luka Vuskovic, potentially the next Toby Alderweireld, will sign for Tottenham next summer for 11 million euros. A really exciting talent. Tottenham fans, let us know what you think. How excited are you about Vuskovic joining your club next summer? Do you think he could go right to the top? Thank you very much for your time today, Bart, and thank you very much for your insight, and thank you guys for listening.